Hi and welcome to Aiken Adventures. Alaina here, and today I'm going to show you my basic everyday makeup routine. Now obviously I'm not a makeup professional. These are just products that I have found that work for me personally on a daily basis. So let's get right into today's makeup routine video. Obviously I start off with a clean face, and this is the moisturizer that I like to use. I get it off of Amazon. The link will be listed down below. I have combination to oily skin, and so I don't need a lot of moisture, but I do need some, and this one provides exactly how much I need throughout the day. After I'm all moisturized, I then move on to foundation. This is the Beauty Blender that I use. I absolutely love the Beauty Blender. Make sure you dampen it. A lot of people don't know that, but you're supposed to get it wet and then squeeze out all the excess water. And then this is the foundation that I use. This is just a basic Revlon foundation. This is the ColorStay, and it's actually designed for combination to oily skin, which is what I have, so this is what I really like to use. They also have one that's for normal to dry skin. So if you have more dry skin, then you can opt for that one. It's a little more moisturizing. I love this foundation. I've used it for years. It really helps, especially in this Florida humidity. It stays on for a really long time, and it doesn't crease on my skin, and it provides a lot of coverage without feeling really heavy, which is what I always look for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my foundation. I usually do about 2 to 3 pumps there. And I'm gonna take my mirror here so that I can actually see what I'm doing. And I just take my Beauty Blender and I take a little bit of that, and then I put it all over my face. Now I naturally have a lot of redness in my skin, and you can see that it really takes away the redness. And this is just one pretty thin layer, so I'm not putting on loads and loads of foundation, but it does even out my skin tone really nicely. Now that my foundation is all blended, I'm going to go in with a powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the color Natural Beige. I really like this powder. You can get it on Amazon. It'll be linked down below. And this is just a big basic powder brush. It's nothing fancy. I've had it for a really long time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in on top of that foundation and just make sure it's set. So I'm just gonna put a thin layer all over my face where I put the foundation. The next thing I do is I go in with a little bit of bronzer. I don't typically wear concealer just because my foundation provides all the coverage that I need. And so I just go straight in with a bronzer here. I have just a little, it's probably a blush brush, but I use it for pretty much everything because I don't like to overcomplicate my makeup with a lot of different brushes. I just like using the same one. So I just go in and just dab a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make almost like an E shape on my face. So I start up at my forehead, and I'm just gonna blend all the way down. Like an E, and I'll kind of show you again what I mean by that. So I'm going from here to here to here. That's kind of the places where you want your bronzer to hit, because they say that's where the sun would naturally hit your face. So you go up and I just kind of blend a little bit. I don't do a lot. Obviously I have very fair skin, so I don't want to have too much, but I do want to have some color and some definition. That way it's just not all one color of foundation. So then the next thing that I like to do is I go in with a blush. Now I use a lot of random palettes because I don't spend a lot of money on makeup, but my mom will get me makeup palettes for Christmas, and so this is one of the palettes that she gave me. Technically it's a highlighter palette, but I like the blush option right up here. And I've used the bronzer as well right down here. So I just go in with that pink color using the same brush. And I'm just gonna do this right here on the apples of my cheeks, just to give a little more color. After I do bronzer and blush, I like to go back in with my big fluffy powder brush that I used before and just kind of blend all of that together. That way there's no harsh lines where you put on your bronzer and your blush. So I just kind of make sure all of that is nice and blended. Now that all my face makeup is done, I'm gonna go in with some eyeshadow, and I really, really love these Naked palettes. I've had a couple of these before. I've used the Naked Basics palette, and I've also used Naked #1. This is #3, and it's more of the rose gold palette, and I really, really like that. It gives you a lot of options. What I like about this palette is that it gives you the shimmers and also the mattes, and so you can use this for all kinds of different looks. So I'll kind of just go back and forth on which shadow that I like for the day. But normally I use these lighter shadows right here, and I'll kind of show you what I do. But once again, I'm very basic, so I just use my hands, I use my fingers, and I go in with the very lightest color, and I just kind of put that all over my lid. Almost like a base. So I'm gonna start just here with putting this lighter color all over my lid. Okay, and then I'm just going in with this tiny little brush. I just use the fluffier side. This is just a basic eyeshadow brush. And I think I'm gonna go in with this gold color right here today. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on the end of the brush. I can't talk today. And then what I do is I just go into the crease. I don't put this all over my eyelid. I'm just gonna go in that crease right there and kind of just go back and forth. You see it gives just kind of a nice color in the crease, just to create some definition. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go in and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, that's pretty much all I do for eyeshadow. Every once in a while I'll go in with a darker color and put it right on the outside of my crease, but for just basic everyday makeup, I just use the lighter colors, and I just kind of put a little bit in my crease there to give it a little more definition. I don't actually wear eyeliner. I have before, and I found some that I liked, but for just everyday use, I don't like how harsh it is on my skin personally. And so instead of eyeliner, I like to improvise, and I use the same eyeshadow palette. I use this for pretty much everything on my eyes. And I just go in with a darker shadow. This just gives me more of a softened eye look and not so harsh for everyday. And so I just go in with the darkest shadow here. And I'm gonna use the other side of that little brush. So I used this side for the shadow, and I'm gonna use this side for the eyeliner. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that, and I just kind of line my entire eye with this darker shadow. Okay, so now that I'm done lining my eyes, one thing that I like to do is I take the same powder brush and I kind of just dab it under my eyes, because sometimes some of the shadow will fall off onto my face. And so I just want to make sure that I can get all of that off my face. Next I go in with mascara, and I've used this same mascara for years and years and years. This is the Maybelline Colossal Mascara. I love it. Once you find a mascara that you love, and you ladies will know this, but you have to stick to it because other mascaras just don't work once you find the one that you love. So I love this one. It stays on all day long and it doesn't flake underneath your eyes, which I really like because once again, humidity. I live in Florida. I don't want mascara to smudge and run, and this one doesn't. So I really like the formula of this one. This is just the Glam Black color. So I'm just gonna put that on all of my lashes. I like to start at the root or at the base of my lashes and then kind of wiggle up. That gives you a lot more volume and length. This is not easy to do filming. I'm trying to look at this mirror and film at the same time, and it's not easy to do. One tip for you, if you're putting on mascara, sometimes you'll accidentally like hit your face or dab your eyelid. If you ever do that, don't wipe it off immediately because it'll smudge and create a huge mess. We've all been there. So what you do is just leave it for a little while, let it dry, and then you can just scratch it right off. It'll flake right off. So I learned that from another YouTube makeup artist. I can't remember which one, but it actually works. So just a little hack for you. So then after I'm done, I just like to make sure the length is where I want it. And then I'm all done with mascara. Next I move on to eyebrows, and as you can see, I don't have eyebrows. Well, I do, but they're blonde, which is kind of weird because my hair is naturally red. This is my natural hair color, but my eyebrows are blonde, so basically non-existent. But I do want some frame to my face, and so I just kind of color them in, if you would say. And so I use this Wet n Wild eyebrow powder. It has two different powders. I like to use the lighter one. Let me see which color this one is. I think this is just brown. It is, it's just the color brown. So I'm using that same eyeshadow brush that I use for my eyeliner. Like I said, I'm pretty simple when it comes to makeup. So I just make sure I wipe off any of the shadow that I use for the liner because I don't want it to bleed into the eyebrow color. So I just make sure it's wiped off. And then this takes a lot of practice. This took me a little while to make sure I got it right. I still don't get it right every single day because you have to be very precise with eyebrows. You will try to spend a lot of time making them match, but I heard someone say that eyebrows aren't twins, they're sisters, which is kind of funny to me. But basically they're saying don't stress out if both of your eyebrows don't look exactly alike. That's not the goal. You just want them to look similar. And so I'll kind of show you what I do. I don't know how good it's going to translate on camera, but I just take a little bit of that and I tap off the excess. And then I just outlined my natural eyebrow, but I'm just gonna fill them in. And so I start at the bottom and I just follow, try to get up closer for you. I try to follow my natural brow shape. And you can see the difference between this side of my face and this side of my face. I know it looks a little strange right now, but I'm gonna blend them in a little bit later. So right now I'm just concentrating on filling them in. Pretty much the way that I like them. And then I'm taking the same powder brush that I've been using the entire video, and I'm just going to kind of brush off the excess powder. And this just makes me feel like I have a little bit more frame to my face. And so I like filling in the eyebrows. That helps out a lot. The very last thing that I do is I go in with lipstick. Lipstick is probably my favorite makeup product. I absolutely love lipstick. I like all the different colors. I like different brands. This is my favorite brand for every day. Hi, Vivian. You wanna say hi? Hi. Say hi, everybody. Like I was saying, obviously that's Vivian, the real star of Aiken Adventures. She wanted to see what I was doing. But as I was saying, I really like lipstick. This is my favorite brand for every day. This is just the Maybelline. I have these in several different colors. They're very inexpensive and they're really good quality lipstick for the price that you pay. So I really, really enjoy these. I think today I'm going to use number 657. This is a matte color and this is called Nude Nuance. And so I'm going to use that one today. I typically go for browns, tans, nudes, because it looks better on my skin tone. And so I'm just gonna outline my lips here. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted by my 3-year-old. So like I was doing, I was putting on lipstick. So I got the top part done. Okay. And then I just like to go in and make sure it's all blended. With no harsh lines. So this is just a really good neutral matte color throughout the day, and these last a really long time. So even through eating and drinking, these lipsticks are really, really good for the amount that you pay for them. All right, so this is my completed, simple, everyday basic makeup routine. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. Or if you have any hacks or tips that might be helpful to other people, go ahead and leave those down below as well. I tried to link all of the products that I used today in the description. So if you want any direct links to any of the products that I used in this video, then go ahead and check the description. Thank you so much for watching. And if you would like more information on my hair, then click this video.